Hey everybody, this is Ozark Prepper 1. I'm out here in the brush taking care of a dead tree that fell. And today I want to talk about perception of others. They say first impressions are the most important, right? Well, sometimes a person has no control over the first impression they leave on another person, because you don't know what trauma that person just experienced before you met them. I'll give you an example. One time I worked for a large company, and we were on a lineman crew, and a guy got hired on there that had recently watched his mom and his sisters burn up in a fire. And not only did he watch them, he had just gotten home from work, and he pulled in the driveway and he could hear them in the house screaming in agony. And I noticed a change in the guy when that happened. But when he went to work at that company, we had a guy there that was he wasn't a bad guy, but he was young and cocky still and trying to prove himself. Well, in his own mind, he looked at the other guy, like he was just some loser that didn't have no ambition and didn't care about his job. And this guy hadn't even been working there a few weeks. So imagine, within that same year, all that happened to you, and you go to work somewhere, and now you're being traumatized by a coworker. That would be devastating. It's energy draining. It kills your motivation. It leads a lot of people to alcohol, drugs, suicide. All those things are bad. A lot of this goes on because parents don't educate their children on this stuff when they're young. And we were all guilty of it when we were kids. We all picked on each other, and we didn't know what our friends were going through in their home life. They always picked on people in school, say, "Oh, your clothes are nasty," or something. It might have been a poor kid that was just dirt poor, or his parents were drug addicts. He had no control over it. But when you base your perception on what you see right in front of you and say that's what that person is, and you don't know the background, you're cheating yourself just as much as you are that person, because you're probably taking somebody that's going to be a productive person, a good person, someone who may reach their hand out to you when you fall, and you're eliminating that. You're making it to where that guy doesn't care to help others anymore, and you might turn him into a monster. So being a good person goes a long way toward others, because others see that. And when you fall, you may or may not have somebody there for you, but your chances are better if you're good to people now, or while you're standing on your 2 feet. Just a random thought for today. I was just thinking about that guy randomly. He was a good friend when we were younger. But hope that is kind of an eye-opener. Maybe you can let your youngsters know not to bully their buddies in school, because that buddy might give them a job someday. We got about 18 to 20 mile an hour winds here. I really shouldn't be out here because we have branches break off. Matter of fact, I'm cleaning one up. But you could also say, take the information I just said, and you could also use it in a management perspective too, because just because a person is a boss at a company doesn't mean they don't have problems at home or they have problems at the company. You don't know what their boss is doing to them. Their boss is probably brutal to them because they expect more. And you know, I worked in a company and we had a stairwell that led up to the office, and there'd be 2 supervisors and 1 plant manager. And when the 2 supervisors in the morning, before they went up the stairs, they were all smiling and happy, and when they came down the stairs, they looked like they got Christmas took away from them. You know, they were just, there wasn't a bit of happiness when they come down those stairs. And nothing was a joke anymore, everything was serious. So you don't know what they're going through either, so don't be hard on them. And sometimes you get a jerk that no matter how much good you do for them, they're gonna stab you in the back all the way. And you'll know that pretty quick. But just keep doing right. And if they don't ever seem to turn around for you, leave that place. Move on. It's not worth it. It's your time and energy and your life, years of your life wasted. There's other things to do out there. There's other professions. There's professions that you would probably think in your mind, I'm not good at that. I don't think I'd be able to do that. And then you go do it and you find out, whoa, I'm better than everybody here. And that happens. I've done it. I went into a profession I had no clue about and mastered it. And I'm not in that profession now because I didn't like it. But I mastered it. And I could go back to it. It wasn't really a seasonal profession. It was year round. And it involved ladders, construction, part of construction, but I guess my measuring skills were good and they liked it. But I'm not gonna toot my own horn and say I'm good at what I do now. I'm okay at what I do now. There's people way better than me, people younger than me that's way better than me, people with only a year's experience that make me look like an idiot. So do what you like if it's going to pay your bills and you have a low stress level. If you need more money to have a lower stress level, look around. Right now is the time to get out there and kill it. You can be making decent money. And maybe, I'm not saying go out and make money thinking 30 years down the road, because I don't think there is 30 years down the road financially. But there is if you put back assets. You'll put back the things that's gonna retain their value. Food retains its value, because if you don't have it, it's all over anyway. Well, I better stop before I get into another subject. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Ozark Prepper 1 out.